Artem Polyev reports on the main attacks on the enemy's rear.
The first ozone holes in Russia.
Everyone who said the ozone wouldn't be touched.
How the defense forces arrived with long-range sanctions at the second largest trading platform for Russian weapons.
Everything was logical, matter of time.
And also how they flipped the switch in Moscow.
For the first time, they're turning on the lights in Russia.
And a total blackout in Crimea.
Honestly, for 6 days, what happened? I don't understand.
What kind of response awaits Russia for the attacks on Ukraine?
Local frontline regions like Kursk, Belgorod, that's just easy.
A selection of the loudest strikes of the week, right now. The night leading into Saturday, Chapievka in Russia's Samara region wakes up to the accompaniment of Ukrainian drones.
Whoa! Whoa!
And as soon as the sun rises, it's already blocked by a huge column of smoke.
You should go home.
More drones continue to reach their targets.
Huh? Detonation. Boom. Take that.
In June, the flowers started strikes on Russian oil refineries. In July, the Wildberries from Wildberries. And in August,
Ozon's first warehouse is gone. It's burning to the ground, just so you understand.
after the Ukrainian Defense Forces took 7 of the largest warehouses of the Russian marketplace Wildberries out of the chat, now the good drones have also visited its main competitor.
In short, I liked it at Ozon. I didn't like it at all.
This was inevitable. It was just a matter of time, I'd say, before all this reached Ozon. And now, I am more than sure that we are next. We will see 10 to 15 strikes there. How Ozon itself will be burning?
And the next strike didn't keep us waiting long. The very next day, an Ozon warehouse caught fire in Orenburg. A huge blaze also reached St. Petersburg. Next to Ozon, another warehouse caught fire. Moreover, as the Russians themselves claim, even without the involvement of drones. But where will it burn brightly next? Local residents have already figured it out and are giving hints themselves.
Have you ever seen the size of the Ozon distribution warehouse located in Tumen? I'll show you right now. It's located along the Moscow tract.
These marketplaces sell not only household items, but also military-grade goods. Just like on Wildberries, you can find components for drones here. Engines, antennas, fiber optic spools, as well as body armor and helmets. In short, everything for the enemy's so-called SMO. Disrupting this supply chain is a key task for the defense forces. And another one is striking a Russian economy, which would really be like it's without oxygen, without Ozon.
I had over 7,000 items burned down at Wildberries. Today they started bombing Ozon, too. I'm just in shock. I don't know how I'm going to pay taxes and salaries to the seamstresses who are working at the production facility right now.
All these companies, both Wildberries and Ozon, are very heavily leveraged. Their debt is measured in tens of billions of dollars, and now they obviously won't be able to service this debt, and this threatens the collapse of the Russian Federation's banking system. If the banking system doesn't work, that means huge inflation, and it means the inability to finance weapons production once again.
Along with this, Russians themselves are continuing to wake up to reality. The flames from the marketplaces bring a bunch of problems, and the first one is unemployment. Up to 70,000 workers were employed at the 7 destroyed Wildberries warehouses. And what now?
I've been looking for a job for a month, checking salaries. It turns out we were earning pretty well. And now it's very hard to find a job.
The situation with the Ukrainian strikes has obviously gotten under the Russian dictator's skin as well. Putin, of course, brushes it off and traditionally downplays the scale, but he has finally admitted there is a problem.
There are no consequences from such attacks. There haven't been, and there can't be. But they do cause us harm, of course. That is obvious. We understand this, and we see it, and we know it.
Obviously, the Kremlin understands. It's time to feed the population another fairy tale.
Before this, he's simply ignored the issue, meaning nothing's happening, everything's fine. The air conditioning in my bunker is working, everything is good, I'm living. But, well, it's impossible to hide the huge lines at the gas stations. It's impossible to hide the huge plumes of smoke when their logistics centers are burning down.
just as it was impossible to hide one of the most powerful strikes on Moscow and the surrounding region this week. Dozens of such warm comments poured in overnight.
Photo. Boom. I've got it now. My legs are shaky.
It's one thing when Russians in the hinterlands wake up to the war, but it's a completely different thing when it happens in the capital.
I just can't wrap my head around the fact that my power was cut off.
It's just honestly so scary, you know, with everything that's happening right now. And I really do think this is just the beginning of all this shit. It's honestly terrifying.
Moscow Mayor Sobyanin reported on more than 600 Ukrainian drones that were heading toward the Russian capital, of which they shot down, according to official Russian data, only about 200. And this made even Kremlin propagandists nervous.
I have a question for our authorities. Why is it still flying over our country in such numbers?
But what a surprise it was for Muscovites when they woke up in the morning without electricity. Several districts of the Russian capital were plunged into darkness. Trams stopped, and there wasn't even enough electricity for the escalators in the subway.
They're turning the lights on for the first time.
There were interruptions with the internet and communications due to the power outage at a major communication hub. Could this really be a test run for the Weir?
Indeed, our special operations forces are looking for bottlenecks, how Moscow can be plunged into a blackout. Because the question is that Moscow is, first of all, a city of 12 million people, and secondly, Moscow is surrounded by 48 power plants that keep Moscow running on cheap Russian gas.
To destroy the transformer areas near the power plants, a large number of drones is needed, and this task, obviously, our defense forces have accomplished. Just as it is clear that this is only the beginning.
Besides drones, we have Flamingo Neptunes. And besides that, we have a Firepoint stating that in the fall, there will already be the possibility, well, in September, there will already be the possibility to use ballistic missiles.
And in the temporarily occupied Crimea, a total blackout occurred this week. Previously, electricity here at least appeared occasionally in some places.
For the first time today, there was light all night. And since July 23rd, all night long. We hadn't had that happen before, but there isn't power throughout the whole city. I don't know, maybe they'll turn it off now and it'll be off until morning.
The peninsula's main power plants run on gas, which simply cannot be delivered here now.
We haven't had electricity since 11 p.m. and now there's no water either. I don't understand what happened. Did we take a wrong turn somewhere or what?
Crimeans are also slowly starting to wake up to reality because there are no tourists on the peninsula, just like there's no electricity.
We are looking at Ozon, Kursk, Belgorod, and finally, Petersburg.
Their main goal right now is to build a power transmission line from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant to the Kuban, and from the Kuban to Crimea. This is also a fairly difficult, important project.
So there won't be a quick solution here. And as a result, it's not just the locals who are on an electric starvation diet, but more importantly, the Russian troops and their radar stations, electronic warfare stations, and anti-aircraft missile systems.
If, let's say, there are some command posts, some repair substations, they can be powered by diesel generators. But when it comes to just stationary radars for those same S-300, S-400 systems, they consume hundreds of kilowatts. And that is exactly why this is being done, so that their radars don't work, so that we can carry out successful strikes on the locations of the Russian army in Crimea.
Cutting power to Crimea, key Russian military-industrial complex enterprises, and parts of Moscow is probably just a rehearsal before the main act. The Ukrainian Defense Forces may soon scale this operation to other territories of the invaders.
Local frontline regions, like Kursk, Belgorod, that's just so easy for our special operations forces. A very decent target is the Leningrad region. That is a very decent target.
This week has shown Ukrainian strikes can be extremely painful for the occupiers. And this isn't just about the power switch or military production, but also about the economy that fuels the war. Additional pressure to force the enemy to stop, because they will have to choose between collapse and peace. Artem Pulia, Fakta Tizhna, ICTV, Yedini Novedy.